What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to Comic Breakdown. In this video, we are jumping into Cosmic Ghost Rider issue number 1, a story by Stephanie Phillips, and the artist is Juan Cabal, and they are giving us the story of Frank Castle, a man who has been to hell and back. Once upon a time, he was known as the Punisher. That, of course, was until his death, and then his resurrection as a supernatural empowered spirit of vengeance. Since then, he has served as the Herald of Galactus, the right hand of Thanos, and as a guardian of the galaxy. But after leaving this mark on all of the universe, Frank Castle has been living a quiet existence. His days as Cosmic Ghost Rider, he believes, are finally behind him. But across the universe, there is a vicious bounty hunter who is leaving a trail of bodies in his wake. And so now Castle must investigate and figure out what is going on. So make sure you guys have subscribed to the channel, make sure that you like this video, and with that being said, let's dive into this breakdown. Alright gang, so as we dive into this issue number 1, we are picking up in the deeps of space. On a random space station, we have an individual that is pleading for his life, begging for the Cosmic Ghost Rider not to gun him down. But this is Frank Castle. This man has no chance of escaping. And when we pan out, we see that Frank Castle has just been laying waste to everybody alive here. We don't know why, we don't know the purpose. We just know that Cosmic Ghost Rider is laying down the hate. This once giant flourishing casino is just littered with dead bodies. Nobody can escape the vengeance of Cosmic Ghost Rider. As he kills the last individual, we have Frank Castle that is waking up. A knock at his door, and he goes to investigate to see who this is. This is when we are introduced to Axel. She is coming in, letting Frank know that the pipes are not working and that he has to go take care of it. As Frank gets clothed and he makes his way downstairs, this is where he runs into Marlowe, the owner of the bar that he lives upstairs of. The deal is, Frank Castle does some work around here, and they give him a place to stay. As Frank heads off to take care of these pipes, Marlowe and Axel, they have a conversation. If they're being honest with themselves, they don't really know anything about Frank. They don't even know if this is his real name. But Frank has every intention of leaving within the week. Outside, we have an individual who is just drunk off of his butt, walking through the streets completely inebriated. This is where we see the bounty hunter pulling up, asking the directions for Marlowe's. As he goes inside, he is greeted by Marlowe and his daughter. But he's not looking for Marlowe, he is looking for Frank Castle. And when Marlowe tells him that he needs to leave this place, the bounty hunter grabs Marlowe and drives his head right into the bar. That's when Axel grabs a bottle and she smashes it, telling this guy that he needs to get out of here and do it now. But that's when he draws out his pistols. But all he wants out of them is the location to Frank Castle. They don't know that he is the Cosmic Ghost Rider. This bounty hunter says that he belongs in a grave. That's when Frank comes into the bar, letting him know that the Cosmic Ghost Rider is long gone, that he no longer exists. The bounty hunter pulling up his gun, saying that this is for the Sakaran Guard. But Frank really doesn't understand what's going on. As this bounty hunter begins to unload, Frank is also trying to figure out why the guard would want him dead. That's when the bounty hunter grabs hold of the girl. He puts her at gunpoint and says to make this easy. And while Frank continues to try and say he has no idea what this guy is talking about, he says that he saw Frank and the Cosmic Ghost Rider's destruction. He saw it with his own eyes. As Marlowe goes to try and stop this bounty hunter from doing anything dumb, doing it in a very aggressive manner, the bounty hunter blows away Marlowe, puts a hole right through his chest. And in that moment, we see Frank Castle wake up. Frank is confused on what is going on. having a very hard time trying to figure out what is dream and what is not. By all appearances, this was all a dream. The cosmic Ghost Rider telling him that that was obviously a dream, because he would have never hesitated to pull the trigger. Alright gang, so as we dive into this issue, we are picking up at a planet at the end of the galaxy. As everybody goes about their day in what looks like some kind of bazaar, that is when we see a golden falcon. It flies through the sky and everybody begins to run, with that bird of prey landing on a bounty hunter's arm. We learn that this golden bird, its name is Ulysses, and it is owned by a bounty hunter, one going by the name of Monarch Starstalker. He finds himself here today fulfilling a bounty. The person that he is looking for is dead ahead of him, sitting on a bench. This person is from the Shi'ar Empire. In fact, this is an ambassador. This is Ambassador Charon. But for the bounty hunter, being an ambassador or not, he has a job to do. His client wants this person dead, so he pulls up his pistol, getting ready to shoot. But the ambassador pulls something out, presses a button, and the bounty has been terminated. The ambassador had put out the bounty. That way, Starstalker would come to them. And while Starstalker says that this is a waste of his time, the ambassador says that the true reward is for capturing the Ghost Rider. And Starstalker cannot help but laugh at this idea, because you put a bounty on your own head, brought me all the way to the end of the galaxy, and now you are asking me to kill the cosmic Ghost Rider. But that's not entirely true. What the ambassador wants is a capture of the cosmic Ghost Rider. As he goes to walk off, this is where we see a bunch of droids show up. Their guns drawn out and ready to do battle. This doesn't seem like they're giving Starstalker much of an option. I also want to point out that these droids look a lot like the B-2 super battle droids that the Separatists use in Star Wars. Like, these things are freaking almost identical to them. But we see that Golden Falcon take flight, and then it begins to tear apart these droids, with Starstalker turning back to the ambassador. The ambassador lets us know that there's not much the Empire can do right now. There's too much red tape, too much bureaucracy. But what they can do is send in a bounty hunter. Their reward is currently set at 100,000 credits. But if Starstalker is going to do this, they require 200,000. And while this may be double the previous reward, all the other bounty hunters that have gone to fight the cosmic Ghost Rider have fallen. That if you want the job done, you will pay what I am asking. That's what takes us over to the tavern. Frank Castle currently having the bounty hunter at gunpoint. And while the bounty hunter believes that Frank won't pull the trigger, that doesn't stop Axe from going and taking a bottle and driving it right into this dude's face. This bounty hunter had just killed her father, Marlowe, and so now she is out for revenge. She doesn't stop at taking his eye. She takes that bottle and she dices him up. That's when Frank stops her and says that they have to go. They can't stay here because more bounty hunters will be coming. They make a getaway out into the middle of the desert, an undisclosed location where Ghost Rider has his motorcycle. Before they take off, we see Axe punch him right across the face, because right now she wants some answers. Her father has just died, and Frank hasn't said a word about anything. This is when he reveals that he is in fact the cosmic Ghost Rider, but he's not sure why anybody would want him dead. He is long since retired from being the cosmic Ghost Rider, and while he would love to go into detail on exactly what happened and why all of this is going on, why he decided to retire, so on and so forth, that is where Starstalker shows up. Pulling out his pistols, he begins to lay down the lead. Both Axe and Frank, they duck behind the motorcycle, with Axe telling Frank that if you are the cosmic Ghost Rider, prove it. But he says that he can't, that he's retired. She doesn't believe him, believes that he simply won't do this. So she jumps out from behind the motorcycle and she starts shooting. This is when the Golden Falcon takes her out. And now Frank has no other option but to do what he does. He transforms, and the Cosmic Ghost Rider is here. But we are seeing that his chains, they aren't at 100% capacity. It's almost as if Ghost Rider doesn't have all of his powers. Something is off. He is quickly recognizing that his powers are not nearly what they once were. That's what takes us to elsewhere in the universe. We have Cosmic Ghost Rider that is just laying down anybody that stands in his way, killing everybody but one person. He sits down and he talks to an Omnian. He asks this person if they believe in reincarnation, that their past lives could ever bleed into the present through visions or dreams, because this Cosmic Ghost Rider has been having the same ones that Frank has been having, with this guy not really giving him the answers that he is searching for. Ghost Rider gets ready to put him down, but that's when we have an unexpected guest. We have Valkyrie showing up, saying that the Cosmic Ghost Rider, the Frank Castle that she knows, would never be one to be picking on a priest. That's not the Frank Castle that she has heard about, but she is more than ready to put down the Cosmic Ghost Rider. Alright gang, so we are picking up at Fueling Station X987. We have Cosmic Ghost Rider and Valkyrie going toe to toe, with Valkyrie bringing down her mace. She lets him know that he has left a trail of bodies in nearly every sector of the galaxy that he has been in. And for Cosmic Ghost Rider, he finds this disappointing. He wants to hit every sector and make sure that they are all taken out. He is on the warpath. But while he battles Valkyrie, the powers of the Cosmic Ghost Rider begin to leave him. With that flame going away, this gives Valkyrie the opening. She takes her mace and she deals a heavy blow across his skeleton face. As we pick up with Frank Castle, we have Starstalker who is just giving him a beating, with Frank trying to figure out who this guy is. He lets us know that his name is Starstalker, and he is the bounty hunter who has brought down the Cosmic Ghost Rider. That's when Frank Castle begins to laugh in this dude's face, saying that that is the most ridiculous name that he has ever heard. But Axe comes in to save Frank. She grabs the bounty hunter. She bites his freaking ear off. And Frank is trying with all of his might to summon his powers, to summon the Ghost Rider. But after attempting to do so, the flame kicks on only for a second and then it disappears. And so Frank, he lifts up his pistol and he shoots Starstalker right in the chest. He tells Axe that it is time to go, and then we hop over to the other Ghost Rider. At this point, Valkyrie is trying to figure out what is going on. Trying to figure out if this is someone or something controlling the Cosmic Ghost Rider. But he says for the first time, he truly feels free, with or without the powers. He is finally realizing who he was meant to be. This is where the priest lifts up a pistol, saying that he knows how to use it and he will do so. As Ghost Rider charges at the priest fires away, Valkyrie telling him that it is time to stop fighting, and Ghost Rider sees that his armor is messing up, that this shouldn't be happening. Valkyrie is able to see his fate, to see his death, and it is much closer than he thinks, telling him that if you come with me, we can figure out what has happened to you. But this is when Cosmic Ghost Rider, he jumps over the bar. He hits a switch and he is sucked out into space. With Valkyrie saving the priest and using the all weapon, she is able to hit the button that closes the airlock, thinking to herself, why does this button even freaking exist? But that's what picks us up with Frank Castle. Him and Axe, they're hightailing it out of here. And Starstalker, still alive, recognizing that there is something wrong with the Rider's powers. While typically his powers should be limitless, he was unable to summon his powers, and that bike is somehow linked to the Rider's power. At most, he's able to activate his powers for 3.5 minutes or so. Gives him enough time to leave the atmosphere, traveling at top speed. There are only a certain amount of places that he could make it from this planet, one of 3 fueling stations that are nearby, and so they know exactly where Frank is headed. With Frank hightailing it out of here, we see a spaceport in the near distance, a fueling station that they can stop at. As they get off and they begin to look around, they wonder where everybody is. This is when Valkyrie comes from behind Frank. Wielding her mace, she goes to hit Frank in the head. He dodges it, confused on why Valkyrie is attacking him. This is when the priest interferes, saying that this isn't the rider that tried to kill you. And now everybody is confused, trying to figure out what the heck is going on and how this is even possible. Frank is wondering how there is two of him. They don't believe that this is a clone. But they don't think that's the case, because the priest, he talked to the other Ghost Rider. He was talking about reincarnation, wanting to know about past lives and if they are able to influence the present, if there is some kind of universal connection between the two of them, saying that it had something to do with nightmares or visions. This is when Frank lets it be known that he has been having some very vivid nightmares as well. Valkyrie saying that she has been tracking the death orbs that follow everybody around. This has all led her to the doppelganger of the Cosmic Ghost Rider. In mid-discussion, this is where he and his other half, they both collapse down to the ground. Both of them fainting. Both of them falling out. Alright gang, so our story picks us up 1 month ago. We have pirates that are coming in trying to steal some cargo. As they try to make their getaway, the Cosmic Ghost Rider shows up, busting in through the side of their vessel, guns blazing, ready to take down anybody that stands in his way. One by one, Frank Castle takes them all down. But while doing so, the ship accidentally flies into what appears to be a black hole. Unable to stop it, unable to do anything, the ship flies directly into it. And inside of this black hole, something happens to Ghost Rider. That's what picks us up at current day on the fueling station. Frank Castle waking up after going unconscious. As he looks across the way, he sees his other half, the other Ghost Rider. And now they are left wondering, what the heck is this thing? Is this a clone? Is this something else? This is where Axe chimes in and says that maybe this is just an incomplete element of his identity. There is a book that she used to read, one about a doctor who learned how to remove pieces of himself. He could remove his fear, his anger, his love, and all of those pieces eventually turned on the doctor because they were incomplete without one another. Now obviously Frank Castle isn't a mad scientist. He didn't choose to separate out all of his emotions. But that black hole that he flew into, that appears to be exactly what happened. That this other Ghost Rider, this is a piece of Frank Castle. Because the original Frank Castle has a reputation for violence, but never without purpose. As they begin to fully understand what is going on here, we see the chain of Cosmic Ghost Rider wrap around the neck of our Frank Castle, because the Ghost Rider on the table has woken up. Seeing Frank Castle, he thinks that he is nothing more than an imposter. The two of them beginning to duke it out. We have Valkyrie who tries to break this up, saying that the both of them have to stop, because the way that she is seeing things, the two of them are dying. Each moment they are moving closer and closer to their death. Valkyrie trying to let this Cosmic Ghost Rider know that you have punched me, you have shot me, you have tried to throw me out of an airlock. Despite all of that, the only thing she cares about is not seeing Frank die. But with the Cosmic Ghost Rider not listening, he goes after Frank again. The two of them fighting, they end up out in space. The two riders going toe to toe. Finally, the Ghost Rider coming out in Frank Castle. Both of them having powers. There is no hesitation, both of them go in for the kill. But amidst this fighting, this is where we see a black hole open up yet again. A huge surge of energy coming through. This knocks both of the Ghost Riders unconscious. While they are unconscious, we have our bounty hunter who is coming in to collect his bounty. Not caring about both Ghost Riders, just grabbing one of them so that he can collect his money. While the other Ghost Rider number 1, Frank Castle, he goes into the black hole. Getting sucked into it, he falls down into its depths. And getting up to his feet, he begins to look around, trying to figure out where the heck he is. When he looks up, this is where he sees 5 other cosmic Ghost Riders. Alright gang, so as we pick up with this issue, we are picking up with the bounty hunter known as Starstalker, and he is currently having a conversation with Gladiator. Gladiator has come to pick up the bounty that Starstalker has grabbed. Believing that he already has this guy locked up in his ship, he goes to open it up only to see that he is missing. And that's when the Ghost Rider comes from the bathroom. And Cosmic Ghost Rider, he wastes absolutely no time taking on both Starstalker and Gladiator. With their battle about to begin, we pick up on a moon on the other side of a black hole. Now, Frank Castle, he tried to tell these guys that you're not the real Ghost Rider, and all of them took offense to this. As they fight each other and Frank Castle, we see that Frank Castle has finally had enough. With a huge explosion, he tells them all that they are going to shut up and they are going to listen to him. That none of you are the real Ghost Rider. And that is because they are all part of the same person. At some point, they went through a black hole, and they became separated from one another. Fear, aggression, cowardice, all of this. But without one another, they are dying. This is when all the other Cosmic Ghost Riders, they start laughing at him. They tell him that he sounds so stupid right now. And so he tells them, go ahead and try to use your powers. Try to use the full extent of your abilities. And when they try to do so, they quickly learn that their powers are nothing. They are finally starting to understand what he is talking about. All of them are getting weaker the longer they stay apart. And so they tell Frank to fix this, to combine us, do whatever you have to do. And he has every intention of doing this, but they have to go get their last missing piece. One of them had been captured. Their powers may be failing, but together, they outnumber Starstalker. And so, as the Ghost Riders hop onto their rides and they take off, we pick up with the fight between Starstalker, Gladiator, and the Cosmic Ghost Rider. As the Cosmic Ghost Rider takes one heck of a beating in this situation. On the outside of the ship, they hear a knocking. They see one Cosmic Ghost Rider, and then they see another, and another. Them cracking jokes, making fun of them, all the good stuff. And that's when the airlock door opens. That is where we have Frank Castle wielding his pistols, ready to just lay down some hate. As all the Cosmic Ghost Riders, they get into the ship and they start making quick work of both Starstalker and Gladiator. With this battle ongoing, we see Valkyrie and Axe show up. And so with the battle continuing on, Frank gets behind the wheel and he's trying to figure out what they can do to combine them all back together. How to make them whole again. Now, one of the running theories is that they could find another black hole and just go back through it. Unfortunately, just finding another black hole, that's a little bit out of their reach. But he did do this all by finding out that he really created a pocket of intense energy in space when he had collided with the other him. If they could create this much energy again, it is possible that they could all be fused back together. Of course, this is all speculation. There is no way to truly test this out. If they have a giant explosion, the likelihood that Frank Castle dies is just as high as them combining back together. And so Frank tells Axe and everybody else that they need to get off the ship and they need to do it now. Valkyrie and all the others, they grab hold of Starstalker, Gladiator, and they get out of here. They hightail it. But as they are making their run, this is where we see that Starstalker grabs some handcuffs, and he handcuffs Axe to the ship. And by the time that Frank sees that she is still on the ship, it is already too late. The ship that they are in is colliding with Gladiators, and we see a massive explosion. And from that explosion, we see both Cosmic Ghost Rider and Axe making it out alive. This is what picks us up later at the fueling station. Frank and Axe saying goodbye to one another, both of them making their apologies, both of them saying their goodbyes. And as we see Axe take off, she hops onto Ghost Rider's bike, a kind of repayment, a use of transportation, asking for her forgiveness for what had happened to Marlowe. But as she hops on the bike, we see her ride away, and she is in fact also a Cosmic Ghost Rider. And that will be the end of this issue. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments. All in all, the miniseries wasn't bad, but this ending was it was so disappointing, because of course they have to make Axe a cosmic Ghost Rider. That appears to be the entire point of this miniseries, is to show that Frank Castle is no longer the only cosmic Ghost Rider. In that explosion, somehow, miraculously, she is not only able to live through it, but somehow she fuses with a cosmic Ghost Rider and becomes part of a cosmic Ghost Rider. I feel this takes away from what cosmic Ghost Rider actually is. It makes absolutely no sense that they just explode and she somehow has powers now. You know, I can get behind the whole idea of cosmic Ghost Rider going through a black hole and being separated into multiple. I can even get behind cosmic Ghost Rider and all of the little clones, if you will, exploding and all coming back into one. What makes absolutely no sense is a regular person in this explosion and somehow walking away with cosmic Ghost Rider powers. You know, sometimes I feel like writers just write something to be like, oh my god, look what I've done, guys. I made a female cosmic Ghost Rider. Look how awesome and progressive I have become. You know, Frank Castle is the cosmic Ghost Rider for a reason. And I feel like making this girl a cosmic Ghost Rider as well, it really just is diluting the water, if you will. It's taking away from why Frank Castle is a cosmic Ghost Rider to begin with. And it appears that they have some kind of intention of carrying this story on again. And I almost guarantee that we will not be covering that comic. You know, this comic itself was just mediocre. It was okay. But absolutely no part of me wants to see this female cosmic Ghost Rider, whatever story they might come up with or whatever they might do. Not because she's a female, not because of anything other than this just felt really lame and a horrible way to create a new cosmic Ghost Rider. Because not even that long ago, she was just a bartender. And now all of a sudden, after 5 issues, she's a cosmic Ghost Rider. It really just feels like the lamest way of creating a cosmic Ghost Rider. And no part of me has any want or need to continue on this story. But let me know your thoughts, let me know your theories. If you would like to get completely caught up on everything going on with Cosmic Ghost Rider, be sure to check out the link in my description as well as the top of this video. It is going to get you completely caught up on everything going on with Cosmic Ghost Rider. If you would like to support the channel, you can always do so by joining the channel membership. Much like Patreon, having multiple different tiers, from $1 to $50. From loyalty badges to comics every single month. Not only are you helping out the channel tremendously, but you are getting tons of perks in the process. If you're unable to do this, do me a favor, subscribe to the channel, like this video, hit that notification bell, and with that being said, until the next breakdown.